In this book, Skinner's preliminary definition of language is behavior reinforced through the mediation of other persons who must be responding in ways which have been conditioned precisely in order to reinforce the behavior of the speaker. This definition indicates that Skinner believed verbal behavior is a form of social behavior.
He strongly believed that language was shaped and sustained by the verbal environment in which the learner is in, meaning that there is no innate system in our brain to acquire language. This has been coined as the blank slate, or tabula rasa side of the debate.
As we know, Chomsky did not agree with Skinner's theory about language acquisition. He believed that language was too complex to be learned through the behaviorist's view of reinforcement alone. Because of the complexity of language, we must have an innate system in our brain predisposed to acquire it.
Chomsky sent an article that critiqued Skinner's book directly to Skinner in 1958. When Skinner received this, he did not read it. This was then published in the newspaper called the New York Review of Books by Chomsky in 1959, after he had privately sent the critique to Skinner. This became a famous review of Skinner's work.
I received a 55-page typewritten review by someone whom I had never heard of, named Noam Chomsky. I read half a dozen pages and saw that he had missed the point of my book and read no further. In 1959, I received a reprint from a journal called Language, reduced now to 32 pages in type, and so that it was the same review by this unknown character. And so I put it aside without reading it. Then, of course, Chomsky's star rose.
Chomsky quickly gained attention and support for his nativist theory, regardless of Skinner's accusations that he misunderstood his book.
This debate plotted nativism and behaviorism against one another about key aspect of development. This contributes to major theories of nature and nurture, which we have discussed this semester.
Francis Galton believed that we were born with DNA that determined personality traits to make up who we are. This is the first example of the nature aspect of development in which Chomsky reintegrates into his theory of language acquisition.
In contrast, John Locke believed in the blank slate or nurture aspect of development. He believed that the mind was born completely without any built-in knowledge, and that one learns through experience and influence from parental guidance. This is the basis of Skinner's argument for the language acquisition.
This debate between Skinner and Chomsky perpetuated the nature versus nurture hypothesis regarding human development, but integrated a more interactive aspect between the two. Well, what do you think? Is there an answer?
Do we develop as a result of nature?
Or nurture?
Created using Powtoon.